August 12, 1990. Faith, South Dakota. The temperature was 98 degrees. A flat tire on a Ford pickup truck turned out to be the most expensive flat tire in American history. The truck belonged to a commercial fossil hunting crew from the Black Hills Institute. 3 of them were in the truck. Their 4th member, a fossil hunter named Sue Hendrickson, had stayed behind to walk the nearby hills while the others fixed the tire. She was looking for shark teeth. She found a T-Rex. The first bones she spotted were 3 vertebrae the size of dinner plates lying on the surface of the ground. By the end of the day, the team had exposed the largest, most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton ever found. Sue Hendrickson was 37 years old when she found the dinosaur. She had been fossil hunting since she was a teenager. She had worked on digs in Canada, Peru, and the Dominican Republic. She had co-founded the Black Hills Institute with a fellow fossil hunter named Stan Sacrison. The institute had found dozens of important fossils over the previous 15 years. They had named previous dinosaurs with the same naming conventions as boats and storms: short, punchy, no last names. They named the new T-Rex after the person who found her. They called her Sue. By the end of the dig in August 1990, Sue's skeleton was 90% complete. Her skull was 5 feet long, her teeth were 12 inches each, banana-shaped, serrated like steak knives. Her hips were 5 feet across. She was 42 feet long from nose to tail. She had lived 67 million years ago. She was, by any measure, the king of the dinosaurs. The dig site was on land owned by Maurice Williams, a member of the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe. The Black Hills Institute paid Williams $5,000 for the rights to the skeleton. But the land the fossil was on turned out to be held in trust by the federal government. Federal trust land cannot be sold without government approval. The Institute hadn't gotten approval. In May 1992, the FBI raided the Institute's warehouse in Hill City, South Dakota. They seized Sue, loaded her into a shipping crate, and drove her to the South Dakota School of Mines. She sat there for 5 years while the case went through federal court. By the time the Supreme Court ruled in 1997 that the fossil belonged to Maurice Williams, the Institute was bankrupt. Sue went up for auction. The auction took place at Sotheby's in New York on October 4, 1997. The bidding took 9 minutes. 8 bidders competed. McDonald's and Disney were rumored to be in the running. The final price was $8.36 million, the most ever paid for a fossil. The buyer was the Field Museum in Chicago, with help from McDonald's, the Walt Disney Company, the California State University System, and private donors. Maurice Williams, the landowner, took the money. He did not, by his own account, feel bad about it. He had been paid for the bones. The bones had been his to sell. The Cheyenne River Sioux tribe, however, said the land had been taken from them by treaty violation in the 1880s, and that the money should have gone to the tribe. The legal fight continued into the 2000s. The fossil itself was already on its way to Chicago. Sue took 6 years to clean, prepare, and mount. The Field Museum built a special laboratory for her. The lab had glass walls so visitors could watch the work. 25,000 visitors came to see Sue being cleaned in the first month alone. The technicians used toothbrushes, dental picks, sandblasters, and tiny pneumatic hammers. They found new details as they went. Sue's jaw had healed from a serious bite. Another T-Rex had bitten her on the face, and she had survived. Sue's right shoulder blade had arthritis. She had gout. She had a hole in her jaw from a parasite. She had broken her tail at some point and healed. Sue was not a young T-Rex. She was about 28 years old when she died. Her skeleton went on display in May 2000. The line to see her wrapped around the museum for the first 6 months. Today, Sue stands in the main hall of the Field Museum in Chicago. She is the centerpiece of the museum and one of the most visited fossils in the world. Her skeleton has been studied by hundreds of paleontologists. Papers have been written about her bite force, her running speed, her growth rate, her sex, and her diet. Sue has a cast of her own skull on display in the lobby so visitors can see her face. The original skull sits in a glass case on the 2nd floor because it was too heavy to mount on the body. Sue Hendrickson, the woman who found her, lived to see all of it. She died in 2024. The flat tire that led to Sue's discovery is now in a glass case in the Hill City Museum. The bones she found that day are still being studied. The hunt is not over. The T-Rex keeps giving up secrets.